Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the M&J podcast, where we talk about everything business, everything you need to know about how to scale your business. And today I'm joined yet again by Fadza. Fadza, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you yourself?
I'm doing very well. We have just ended the month of
April.
Now
Yes.
getting into May. How was April for you?
April was okay. Trying to help businesses scale up, helping them with the Zimbra Blitz that is going on.
Yes.
But eventually we always sail through.
Talking about Zimbra, today we want to look at tax.
Yes.
I know a lot of people, they fear the word tax and they associate it mainly with Zimbra.
Yes,
it's like that crazy or maybe that scary uncle in Zimbabwe.
Yeah, that's true.
So we want to help our entrepreneurs understand how best they can be compliant and how best they can plan their taxes.
Mm-hmm.
So we want to talk about tax health checks.
Yes, sure.
So maybe for starters, if you can explain to us what are tax health checks.
Okay, all right, that's fine. Thank you. So tax health checks are basically you getting ahead of your tax position. What do I mean by you getting ahead? You are basically checking on your past returns, what you have submitted, checking if it's reconciling with your invoices, your FDMS data, if it's reconciling with your bank statements. Because many times I've seen accountants submitting returns, but probably because they are under pressure, they don't do thorough checks to see if what they are submitting is correct, or probably it's an accountant who's just being left independently to submit returns, and then you only realize where a Zimbra audit comes through that, oh, this person was submitting our returns wrongly. So tax health checks allow you to go through what you have done so far, get to see where there are gaps, get to see where you have done it wrongly, and by virtue of you doing it without pressure from Zimbra, you actually realize that you get to pick a lot of mistakes, you get to pick some things that you did wrongly, and you have ample time to rectify or prepare ahead before Zimbra comes through.
All right. Just like you're saying, most of the companies probably they then start to realize that they have tax problems. Maybe when they get into an audit, or maybe when Zimbra sends them an invoice.
Yeah.
So why does tax health checks matter to these companies?
Okay, all right, that's fine. So with the Zimbra Blitz that is going on, most people get to realize that they're in problems when they probably get an inquiry from Zimbra. Probably it's a compliance check that they're just doing. Maybe they're calling you in for a compliance interview, or maybe they're saying we are doing a VAT reconciliation in your FDMS. Or probably it's actually an audit inquiry where they are now sending through a letter to notify you that there is an audit. So tax health checks now allow you, because like I said, you are ahead of Zimbra. Tax health checks now allow you to analyze the data of what you have submitted prior, what you have prepared, and reconcile your transactions whilst you've got ample time to see where you got it wrong, what you didn't do, what you didn't submit. So when you do it ahead of time, you get to realize that you are not under pressure and you're just doing it properly. So it now gives you a headway to say, when Zimbra gets to knock on your door, you already know that that period I didn't do my taxes well. And the good thing also, Zimbra also allows you to do what we call a voluntary disclosure. So by a voluntary disclosure, they're just saying probably you omitted some taxes. This is your time to rectify these issues, or this is your time to come forward and notify the authorities that I omitted this much in taxes and I'm willing to rectify. So a VD or a voluntary disclosure now allows you to correct everything that you would have done wrongly. And by virtue of you voluntarily disclosing, you find that you're basically notifying them that you're compliant and you're not evading any tax.
All right.
Yeah.
So when we are doing tax health checks, what do we look at? What do we review from a company?
Okay, so when you do tax health checks, we are getting to check on a lot of things. One, we first want to establish which taxes you are registered for. Are you registered for pay as you earn? If it's pay as you earn, we are reconciling your PAYE returns versus your payroll. We are also getting to check how you run the payroll, because there are quite a number of allowances and benefits that are liable to pay as you earn tax that people get to overlook. So we're getting to check on that. Suppose you're registered for VAT, we're also reconciling the income that came through, probably through your bank statement, the invoices that you raised vis-a-vis what you submitted for your VAT returns or on your VAT 7 schedule. And then for income tax now, we are now reconciling the revenue that you declared versus the VAT sales that you also declared and versus your bank statement. We are also getting to check the salaries that you declared on the income tax versus what you submitted for pay as you earn. And for your general expenses, we also want to check whether you've got supporting documents for these expenses, because with most SMEs, they incur expenses and they never keep records. So you'd also want to make sure that what you include in your financials or in your final return has got supporting documents. We also want to check on that final return, there is a part where you get to declare your closing stock. So we also want to reconcile that with your stock records. So basically, we go through all the information, verifying and reconciling the transactions. And at the end of the period, we now give you a comprehensive report of what you would have missed, which areas that have gaps whilst we were checking.
All right, so probably we have that small entrepreneur. They're still starting maybe 2 years in business, but
Yes.
they are not yet grown. So they're thinking that I'm not really much visible to Zimra right now. I'm still trading under the radar. So who is capable, who is tax health checks for? Are they for small businesses or only big companies?
Okay, tax health checks are for everyone, really. For as long as you are tax registered, you are supposed to have to do a tax health check. Why? Because Zimra has got different offices. They've got the offices for small companies, the SCO. They also have MCO for medium clients. They also have LCO for large clients. So basically, you are all grouped according to how big the organization is. So you never know the next person who's going to come through your door. It's probably someone from small clients' offices. So by virtue of you being in business and registering for Zimra, you are supposed to do a tax health check. It's for everyone.
All right, right. So maybe any advice to entrepreneurs that are watching us right now in regards to tax?
Okay, so what I would advise our SMEs or even the large clients as well is to say always have your tax health checks done internally or even engage someone external. I would recommend engaging someone external because you know how it is when you're used to seeing your figures, when you're the one who probably prepared and submitted, it's very easy for you to overlook certain things. But when you engage someone who's independent, they're just coming in solely for that mission. So you find that they get to pick quite a number of things. So what I would advise you is to always have your tax health checks done periodically, probably after a year, after 6 months, after 2 years, because what's happening with the blitz that's going on, sometimes you just get a compliance check for the past 4 months, for the past 6 months. For some, it's for the past year or for the past 3 or 4 years. So you never really know when you're going to get this inquiry. So it would be better for you to stay ahead, make sure that you're well prepared, and probably get a chance to rectify what you would have done wrong. So always do your regular tax health check so that you're always ahead of time.
Wow. Thank you very much, Father, for sharing your knowledge with us. I hope to see you again next time.
All right. Thank you so much, Golden. It's a pleasure to be here always.
Thank you very much. So, ladies and gentlemen, we've come to the end of this special podcast where we're talking about tax health checks. Remember to subscribe, comment in the comment section below, and see you next time.